Good morning, everybody. Wednesdays, we talk about process improvements on eBay. Anything that you're doing that helps your eBay store or helps you save more time or make more money. Those are the things that we're looking for. For me personally, a couple of improvements. We have Cheryl on the call who's going to be doing accounting help every other Thursday starting next week. So June 10th, I believe, and then 2 weeks later, every other Thursday. So I want to adjust my accounting process so that I do it every Friday. So on Friday, I want to have all the books done. So I want to improve my process so it's easier to do. So on Wednesdays, that's good to go. I now have, I source twice a week. Now my describer comes with me twice a week to go sourcing, which is takes away time from her describing items. So I'm going to be making that up by listing items myself. So yesterday, I think I listed 57 items, and it wasn't so bad. I'm learning how to do it. My personal record is 24 an hour photographs and listing so far. So hopefully I can get that to go faster, but that is my current PR. So we're talking about improvements. The way that I did that improvement was I'm doing it 30 at a time personally. So photograph 30 items, put them into a bin. Then I sit at my computer, list all 30 items, pack them in plastic, then put them away. So my current process is photographs first, list at my desk. And yesterday I did it at a standing desk, which was fine. So it's the same. I thought sitting or standing would make a difference. It didn't make a difference for me. And then put them away after. It's part of my reset to zero. So let's start with Deanna. Deanna, not Diana. Diana will do you in a second. Deanna, good morning.
Deanna, good morning. Hi. Well, I am working on refining my listing process. I had mentioned on here that I had stuff on shelf. I would get things to list and take the picture and then put them back on the same shelf. And I was mixing up things on shelves. I cleared off the shelf. That just sounded so crazy. So I cleared off those shelves. One is for needs a picture, and the other is for after the picture's done. And I have a rolling cart that I have put into play that has just been, in the past, been for collecting junk. And I'm using that to put the stacks of books after they have a picture. Then I can roll them over to my desk if I do need to look at them. If I don't, that's great. And then I can roll them to where I want to put them away. So that has been a big improvement. And I'm just, and I'm also been, I've always tried to get things ready to list and to be ready for pictures when I take the pictures, but then I go to take the pictures and something's wrong with it or it needs to be cleaned. But so I'm adding some lighting where I'm actually sorting the pictures, sorting the books and things beforehand so I can see things better. I've added lots of lighting all over the place. It just has helped a lot. And, higher wattage bulbs and things like that. And I'm just taking more time to make it so things look as good as they can before they get to where I'm going to take a picture. So guess who I got that from? That's what tech does. It's like, I'm just going to do that. So things are as good as they can be when I'm getting ready to list them. If they don't make the criteria, get rid of it or whatever, do something else.
That's a great
Yeah.
reminder. So I'll put that in the, I have a list of like best tips for myself, and getting items the best they'll ever be before even moving them to the photo area is really paramount, because it saves you so much time not going back and forth and little piles of this could be a little bit better. This could be fixed. I could order this for this. This is part of a collection. That's really time consuming.
Yep. So we'll see. I just started doing that, but I'm just trying to get that better. And so hopefully that'll cut down my time of listing, because I have things ready to list. If I have to start listing and I have to take the pictures first, then I just sometimes don't feel like doing it. So if I can get it so the pictures are taken and then it's just ready to go, it just makes me want to do it a lot better. So that's the other thing too, that's my cue to things that have had pictures taken is like, yes, I'm ready to go. So
okay. Let's go, Linda. Linda, good morning. What are you working on?
Good morning. Still trying to stay organized. And I've been procrastinating less. So I make sure that I get my listings done all the way, first thing, as early as I can in the day, no matter what I have going on. And then I don't have to worry about it for the rest of the day. It's been probably the number one thing.
Wait, how did you stop? How did you reduce procrastinating?
I don't know. Sometimes I would make a different decision in the morning. I'm like, I've got to go run and do this thing or take care of something at the store and do that first and say, I always have time to do the listings later. So now I don't let myself do anything until I have my listings done. Then I run into, because I've always done shipping first, but then I was running into my shipping was sometimes late. So it has to be like listing and shipping. And then sometimes I'll do shipping at night. So whatever sold that day so that it's ready and I don't have so much in the morning. So I kind of moved everything earlier, like just doing things earlier instead of thinking I'm going to have time. Just make sure it's done already.
I might make a new rule for myself to try to be done by noon.
Yeah, something like that. But it's so
Yeah.
hard because I'll have things come up anyway. So I just try to do it as early as I can. Because yesterday I had a really big buy that came out of nowhere. So that was kind of fun. And I ended up having to move things all day long. But because I had got up really, really early and got all that done, I didn't have to worry about the big moving, although it's a little outside my niche. So
Do you
I'm
feel
out.
like do you feel like you have enough time in your day?
I have plenty of time in my day.
Okay.
It's the problem of I have too much time. So I think I have more time than actually exists. But yeah, I'm not as busy as a lot of people here anymore. And I'm glad that I've gotten to this part of my life where it's not so busy, but I need to stay disciplined.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, that's that realization. Though I have a newborn, I still think I have plenty of time.
Mhm.
I just need to not waste time. There's enough time to do everything. Although I was thinking about not doing this call this morning because I'm tired, but that's okay. It's gonna be fine. I haven't missed this call in so long. I might as well just keep doing it. Also, I think that makes it easier for me, even though I'm tired, since it's already scheduled. It's easier, just show up anyway.
Right.
That we just started that 24-hour Zoom call so I see people are on it. I haven't joined it yet. If there's any feedback, Christine, have you been on it? Christine, can you give us some feedback? What is it like? Is there people in there?
Yeah, it was really helpful to keep me accountable. So I think I'm actually going to get on earlier than I actually did get on. It was fairly quiet in there. There was a couple of pieces of noises, but it reminded me, oh, there's somebody here, and I'm accountable. I had a question. It was answered, and I think that text style is going to be, if you ask him a question, it's going to be a typed out question, because I'm thinking in my head that when we physically ask a question verbally, it just takes more time to answer, especially if we're all focused and we're busy. And the purpose of being in there is to get some stuff done with accountability. So he typed the answer, which was perfect because it was quick. My answer was quick. His answer was quick. I mean, I was, I'll talk all day if you let me, but
He also
but he
didn't
did.
realize that he had his sound on.
Oh, well, I wasn't going to bust him out on that, Cheryl. Come on now.
It's not recorded, so it's good that it's
It was just us. Yeah. But I liked it, and I will continue to do it.
Okay. What I'm
Especially in the
thinking
morning.
about doing, I don't know if I should just do this because actually I don't know. My thought is, why don't I just set up a live stream of my operation and it'll just be on when I'm at work. But it's painfully boring. So I'm not going to respond to any questions during work. So it literally, my people that are helping me don't talk. So they just go, one takes photographs the entire time. The other one lists the entire time. They sometimes have lunch together, but they don't really, They don't really talk, so they would never answer any questions.
Well, I watch C-SPAN, so I might enjoy it.
That's true. I guess people like watching people do things. I know there's like really huge YouTube channels that people just watch other people garden instead of gardening themselves. So that could be a thing. But let's go with Travis. Travis, good morning. What are you working on?
Same old, just listing, getting stuff up, trying to find more stuff, sourcing and stuff like that. I did add something cool to my measurements.
Okay.
It's just a magnet on a ruler, but it has the
Oh.
and then I can slide. I just change them out really quickly as I measure, and it just tells what the measurement is. I've had a couple of people question like, what measurement is this? And I thought it was self-explanatory, but I just want to make it so I don't get any questions. And so it's just a metal piece and a ruler, and slap them in and out. Changes really quick. It's clean, looks good on the pictures.
I love the
No messing
idea of
around.
no questions ever.
Yeah, well, and because it does take time. Like you got to answer it on your phone, and if you don't have the item in front of you, sometimes it's like, I got to go find that. The less, the better.
And is the magnet strip all the way across the yard?
Yeah, it's just is literally just, you can buy those magnets at any Home Depot, Lowe's, hardware store.
That's cool.
Yeah, they stick right to the ruler, and then you just take a little piece of metal, put your label printer on it, slap it on there. Kind of a slick little thing. I don't know. That was my improvement.
So I wanted to ask you, if I'm taking the photos, what I do is I hold the ruler in one hand, put it down, take a picture of the measurement, move it, take a picture of the other measurement. This is the same with shoes, with hard goods, everything is the same. I hold the yardstick with one hand and the camera with the other hand to take all the measurements. I think the reseller ruler is cool too. You can throw it down and adjust it. But for me, adjusting the reseller ruler was taking longer than just moving my hand with the yardstick. But my photographer, she says it's too heavy. She can't do that. She's like, I can't hold this ruler for 8 hours. I have to set it down. So that's I guess I gotta get her a gym membership, but I can see how that's tiring to do that for 8 hours. Go ahead, Christine.
The resale ruler doesn't stick to the gray, and then also it doesn't if you're doing flat lay, it would be beautiful.
Yeah.
Since I'm not doing flat lays, I don't have the room for flat lays.
Yeah.
It's a little wonky, but I want to get used to it because it's two. And if I practice and if I get good at it, then I'll be able to get the two measurements at one time. I don't know. I'm having a rough time with it, but I'm going to stick with it for at least a month. And then I'm learning from you, Chris. I'm going to stick with one thing.
I just pulled the bottom of it.
Go ahead, Robin.
I just tighten the middle piece just enough that it stays in a T shape. And then I just push the bottom of it against the board and it stays. And it's not in the photo because the only time it's an issue is if I have a really long, like if I have a dress or something.
What do you do if it's longer than 36 inches?
I take a picture of the full thing. And then I take a picture of where the ruler ends. So people can guesstimate. I don't write measurements in my description, so it's just based on people's interpretation. Anyway.
I see.
But I try really hard not to buy things that are that long because it's just, they don't hang on the racks right, and it's just annoying.
If it's longer than 36 inches, I take the picture outside now on the ground. So, because
that would take. I'd have to.
It does take a long time. Yesterday I did two things that were really long. One pair of overalls and one super long maxi dress.
I think if that were me, I would save them all, which I know tech says don't do, but I think I would like wait until I had 10 or something and then go do them all at once.
Yeah. Robin, what are you working on?
I'm on my way to the office to do my shipping and take pictures. and hopefully take lots of pictures because I have to go to the doctor and I'm afraid they're going to send me to the hospital and I don't want to not have photos. So that's what I'm doing right now. But that basically boils down to trying to make life work with business.
How many photos do you take?
Well, I've been playing catch up, so I've just been doing 10 a day.
Okay. How long does
now
that take you?
10?
Yeah.
Between 20 and 30 minutes, depending. And that's putting them away. Like photos for 10 items, not 10 photographs.
Gotcha. So I do have a question for you.
Yeah.
Could you, oh, actually, never mind. I guess there's a few people in the group that put the item away after they photograph it and then list from the pictures.
That's what I do.
Yeah, that's what reminded me of it. And I've been listing the items with the items in front of me and taking the photos. And I feel like is that a luxury to be able to do it that way? Or it's like, the thing is, in my old system, sometimes I used to take pictures, put the item away, and it never got listed. That's just my only, that's why I'm wondering, should you put things away literally at the end to force yourself to actually list the item? And but it's hard to, it depends on how people run their business, I guess.
I think your way, like putting it away after you've listed it or listing it without putting it away first, assumes a level of consistency in your day.
Okay.
Whereas I prefer to take all the photos, put everything away, because then if anything comes up, I can always list from I always list from my photos anyway. I can do that from home. I can do that from the ER. I can do that from wherever. And my stuff is put away. Because what happens otherwise is like, so I come in the next day and because I got interrupted, my work isn't done from the day before and I have to finish the work from the day before. And then it just sort of snowballs, you know?
Yeah, I think that, how long does it take you to do 10 sets of photos?
20 to 30 minutes, putting them away.
Including putting them away. Okay. I guess this is my, this is another thought I have for time savings. Is it possible to do, okay, because a lot of people do eBay because they can do it at home, they can do it with their family, they can have a flexible schedule. But I'm wondering if because of that, you can't get really good at eBay, or like, because as an example, I can't do anything else if I'm listing. I can't do anything else if I'm photographing at all. If I do, it slows it down from literally like 30, or let's just say my record, 24 an hour. From 24 an hour to like 5 an hour. If I have to do things in between or get distracted. So it's almost like 5 hours of at home time is 1 hour of at work time. So people who are doing 20 hours of eBay in between other things, you could just do it in 5 hours if you didn't do anything else and take the rest of the 20 hours or whatever off. I don't know. I'm just thinking the in between listing here and there, it hasn't worked for me at all. It's really hard to not like just do the whole thing in one sitting, but maybe that's impossible for some people.
I think that that's ideal always, and that's always my plan. The problem is that my plan consistently is like, oh, your kid just threw up at school and has to leave immediately, or oh, your dog just whatever, like who knows, or like 100,000 things come up, and they all fall on me because at this point in time in my household, my primary role is to manage the house. And so that has to be my first job, even though I would love for eBay to be my first job.
I see.
So what I do is I plan to go into my office between 9:30 and 10, do all my shipping, do all my listing, because I try and have my photos done a day ahead of time, and then take the photos for the next day. But it doesn't always work out.
Yeah.
So, and the problem is that if I then added putting away stuff as an additional task, instead of just making it part of the task, I'd be in trouble.
Yeah, I guess that makes sense on the priority. Cheryl, can you chat?
Yeah, so I'm like Robin, I take all my photos first, but I tend to take more photos than what I'm going to list. So I've recently switched to doing all drafts and then I list from my drafts. So just like submitting, you know, however many drafts a day from the oldest up, I do the same thing with my photos. The photos, I list from the photos from the oldest down, and the draft doesn't, I don't stop the process when I'm listening for my photos. That draft has to be done, and then the photos moved, and then that section is done. But like Robin said, my stuff is put away. So there's no way for a set of photos to not get listed.
Okay.
Yeah, and to add on that, if I do come across a set of photos that for whatever reason is not listable because it's missing something, I have an album that I stick those in, because, you know, to just like, to know that I have to make a note and go back and address that one the next time I'm doing photos.
Yep, same here.
But it happens very rarely. I think I have one item that's just sitting there. It's a winter jacket, and I'm like, whatever, I'll deal with it when it's fall.
I have one more clarification. You can do this at home, and it's actually the same as doing it not at home. You just can't be distracted. If you had like a separate room or a separate area, and you went there, and you could sit there and do the whole thing all in a row. Because yesterday I did two sets all in a row. One set of 24, the other set of 30 something in a row, and I didn't do anything in between that. I just listed all the photos, listing all the way through, no break. Obviously that's it's hard to do if you don't have a long block of time, but I just feel like 57 listings in a couple of hours, that's like what people do in a week in between whatever. So and somebody in the chat, Mickey, said that he thinks 150 to 180 listings a day with one employee is the max. I agree with that. I think if you have all completely different items, the 40 a day is like kind of the max for one person, 40 a day, because it's very mentally draining to switch categories over and over and over again in different sizes. But 150 to 180 a day by yourself in one category, or one employee doing that for you, is possible. If you want them to sustain that, has to be one category, because otherwise they'll quit, because the job sucks. Of listing hundreds of random items is the worst job ever. I think it'd be so exhausting. Let's go with Brian. Brian, good morning. What are you working on?
Good morning. Just about to start shipping and just getting the day started. Got a little bit of a late start, to be honest. So just continuing the process. I'm trying something this week. Like, I've been doing 5 days a week work, and I want to mix in a day or two of sourcing myself, just to mix up my inventory a little bit. So instead of listing and drafting 100, that means I'll need to do like 125 a day for 4 days. And that will free up a day during the week to go sourcing. And then if I want to go try a flea market or garage sales on a Saturday. So just going to try to mix it up a little bit this week.
Okay. Why did you have a late start?
My wife's a teacher, and it was her last day yesterday. So usually we get up at the same time, and her since she woke up late, I kind of woke up late, and just kind of spiraled from there. So I need to readjust to the summertime schedule. For me, it's my first summer where I don't have it off. I mean, I love reselling, but one of the best things about teaching was summers off. So I have to, I guess that's going to be a small hurdle, is me working while my youngest daughter's home and my wife is home. So protecting that block of time to do that one thing, as Gary Keller would talk about, is like, I need to, we need to have that talk with the family. Like, hey, unless it's an emergency or we're scheduling ahead of time, from this time to this time, I'm in the garage listing and working. I've got to protect that so I can get the listings up to get the sales.
Speaking of, or Tina was asking, who's watching the baby right now? So baby feeds at 7 a.m. That's the first feeding for us. So during 7 a.m., from 7 to 8, I try to do all the dishes, make as many meals as I can for the day, do all the like everything, cleaning, laundry, food. I try to do all of that at 7 a.m. to 8 a.m. and then again at 4 p.m. to 5 p.m. So I get home and the baby feeds 7, 10, 1, 4, 7. I do the 10 o'clock feeding at night. So far, it's pretty close. It's not like exactly like that because the baby doesn't care about my schedule, but it's close. If the baby still feeds, so during that time, I can go do a bunch of stuff to give her, like, that's my goal, since I can't do any of the feeding except for the nighttime one. Just do as much stuff as I can during that time. But that's kind of like, if I was doing this at home, I would have to go into a different room. The work I do when the baby's in the room with me is like almost zero. I don't know how people do that. And I think they may not really be multitasking. Because how do you list an item and watch your kid at the same time? It's really hard. I think it would be switching back and forth from watching your kid to listing.
Yeah, because you really can't multitask. I mean, you can really only do one thing at a time. So when you're multitasking, you're switching back and forth. And like in the book, the one thing they talk about, they try to compare multitasking to like a computer, but a computer is doing one task at a time. It's able to process so much faster than we are. You really can't multitask well.
That time, the only time you could do it when they have a nap.
Go ahead, Thomas.
The only time you could do it is when they have a nap. So it's like you can't really prepare yourself for it. Just when they're asleep, you just go, and that could be at any time.
That's right. Let me see. I was trying to figure out because Isaiah had asked me to time listing shoes, and I think, let me see if I can find it. Yesterday, I think I listed 20 pairs of shoes in 17 minutes. So it's after I took the photos on that part. So Isaiah, the way I did it, since a lot of the stuff I listed, I had never listed before, I kind of had to look it up. So here's an example. So I took all the pictures at once for all of the shoes that I wanted to take pictures of. So I took these pictures outside, just took these pictures all in a row. If I like pictures when I sell shoes, if it has the box, to include the box. The only downside was this pair of Reeboks. The box was so big that it didn't really fit in the pictures. So I put the picture of the box separately. But took all the pictures at once, and I sat, and then my shoe description is very similar. So as you're looking at a sweet pair of shoes, original box included, very rare. I just have that same blurb if it's new. If it's pre-owned, I add a sentence there saying what the condition is. But this is really simple. I didn't add anything to the there's nothing fancy. It's just all 12 photos. I feel like if you're selling shoes, photos say everything. So, but yeah, it took me a little bit of time to look up how much each one was worth, but the listing process was identical for all of them.
You said you did it in 17 minutes for 22 pairs?
After I had the pictures.
Jeez, man. How many item specifics do you have to fill out?
I only do the required on shoes.
I see. Okay. All right. Got you. That's super fast. That's
I don't like the let me see. Yeah, I don't have anything like here's 4 pairs I listed. These 4 pairs, I don't have anything in the description. I just filled in the required item specifics. That's it. There's no and I think like this, even though this is not retail standard, retail standard is just the right shoe in the picture. I feel like this is better than retail standard because people know I have it, right?
I agree. I like
Um,
that photo a lot more.
and then I'm trying. I'm not good at this. See, I want to let I'm not a shoe seller anymore, but I want to let the customer know what the wear is, and I don't know if they can tell from this picture. Does it need to be closer? I don't know.
You can see it from this picture. I mean,
Okay.
especially since when you're on the listing, if you put your mouse on the shoe, it's gonna magnify it.
What about like this is better, right?
Yeah, that's
You can
much better for
really
seeing the
see
exact
that.
color. But you could probably get all of that off with the magic eraser.
That's true. See, this is where I need Isaiah's shoe cleaning services because I was so lazy. These could look like new if I just cleaned them up. You know what I mean? It hasn't been worn very much.
Totally.
Also, in when if there's a skew, this is I don't know if this is greedy or not. Because I'm not in a hurry, I'm just gonna wait for full price on everything that has a skew. Because it's either you sell it first or you sell it last. I like that mentality. So I'm just gonna wait till they're sold out. There's only like 2 or 3 size 12s left.
Every single new pair of shoes that I have listed, I have the same philosophy. Like, I don't care about whether it sells immediately or not. So I just wait. And just once I get the money, I get the money. Like every new pair of shoes that I have follows the same thing. All of them.
But what if there's somebody else out there that will wait forever for it?
We'll just be waiting together.
Okay, this will be waiting together. So Mickey in the chat saying it takes him 2 minutes to complete one listing, including the photos. I think that's the high end. Once you're doing 1 minute for photos, 1 minute for listing, that's as fast as it needs to go. That's 30 an hour. And you could do 240 an hour, a day. If you were that streamlined in one category, I think 30 an hour is the fastest. But like it took me some time to, also by taking pictures outside, the lighting is really good. And people said, what if the sun is really bright? I take pictures outside in the shade. So find somewhere in the shade outside, and your picture should be really good. It's easier.
Are you including research in your timing process,
Mhm.
or
Yeah.
so that's in there as well? Okay, I see.
So what I did with this is, since there's a skew, I think with a skew, it's like much easier. So I just did this, typed in the skew. Wow, am I the only one on eBay who put the code in?
You're totally the only one on eBay who put the code in.
It can't be. Or I put the code in wrong, I bet. Let me see. I can't be the only one with this. I must have just entered it wrong. Let me see. 7053. Yeah, 331. See, this is why you can't trust yourself, because I entered in the code wrong. Wow, somebody made an offer, so I can't edit it right now. But it's actually 331. See, attention to detail. Okay.
Ooh.
So I did this first. I looked through them. I found that I do the model code before the size. So there's 34 of these. Click on sold to get an idea. 200, 225, 239.
So you're looking for like 240, 250 for them?
Yeah, 240, 250. So I priced it higher than that. I'm at 299, I think. Yeah, 299. So it shows me average price of 191, which is probably accurate. So I'll just, and then I go back and do size 12. And there's 7. 1, 2. So 2. Wow, I'm asking more than brand new. That's rough.
Mm-hmm.
I might lower it a little bit.
But you have best offer on. They don't. Well, no, they also have best offer on. So yeah, probably.
Yeah. So someone might play the game and try to find one for cheaper. This is 175. Also, since all of these shoes are my size, I thought about, back old me would have like tried them all on for fun, but I decided I just want to collect money. I don't care anymore.
I totally get that. I totally get it.
I don't care anymore.
I think right now it's taking me like, I don't know. I'm at about 4 minutes, 430, 440, but I'm doing like all of the item specifics, like all of the required, all of the recommended, well, most of the recommended. But like the bigger my store gets, the faster it's becoming, because now I'm running into circumstances in which I have the exact shoe already in my inventory. And then I just like, it takes like 10 seconds to list the same shoe twice. So the more inventory that I'm getting in my store, the faster my sales assembler is getting, because I'm having more of the exact shoe and exact size.
So Queen Bee in the chat says that it's not true. Men can't multitask, but women cook, clean, take pictures, and list all at the same time. I would argue that you're not doing it all at the same time. You're just doing it quickly, sequentially. That would be my thought. You're doing it. Women work much faster than men. Much faster. I can't take photos as fast as the lady that takes photos for me. I'm not even close. I can't list as fast as the lady that lists for me. It's not even comparable. So, but I don't think you're actually doing two things. You can't cook and clean at the same time. You're doing it sequentially. So that's a myth. That's why, yeah, it's a myth. Just to give you an idea of like the capacity of people, I just watched this video on Korean Airlines. They make 70,000 meals a day in their kitchen. 70,000 meals a day in the kitchen. That's just like the productivity level of like what you can do if you're like super focused on one task. Like if you're doing all that for 3 people, there's what's her face? I can't remember this lady. There's a lady on Instagram that I follow that resells with 10 kids. Okay. So if you're only doing dishes and cleaning and laundry for 3 kids, you're a lightweight. Just kidding. But that lady is doing it for 10. So it's a lot. So there's a lot of stuff that you can do. Okay. So there's a lot of time to do in a day, but you're most likely not cooking and cleaning at the exact same time. You're doing it sequentially, really quickly. That's my opinion. And you can get more done than you. I actually feel guilty since I can't do any of the feeding right now. So I'm just trying to pull my weight. And I feel like that's maybe a good attitude to have. Like in this call, come to this call with an improvement that you can share or type in the chat every day. Don't just come and listen, because that will give you the accountability to improve your store. Let's go with Jason. Jason, good morning. What are you working on?
Oh, it's good timing, Chris. I was going to say, I do have something to add. Yesterday, I had a lot of stuff to ship, more than usual. I also had something that I had to do for the realtor business. So I had less time than normal, more to ship in less time. And I got it all done because I just focused and concentrated on that. I turned off my phone basically.
Yep.
And even though someone called me and something happened, I didn't pay attention to it until I got done packing and shipping, and I got it all done. And I thought if I could focus like that all the time,
yep,
I could do great stuff. But I don't. So that's what I wanted to add.
It's yeah. If you concentrate, like I had to write it down. What am I supposed to do? And now I'm kind of used to it. But it's dishes, vacuum, take out the trash, make sure there's nothing in the sink, make sure there's meals for the next day. That's been the biggest hack for having a kid, having meals that you can just eat. That's huge. Instead of having, like, if you're tired or whatever, you can just eat something that you've already made. Otherwise, it's a trip. I also realized if we have another kid in the next couple of years, that's 20 years of doing this. It's a long time. So for those of you that are done with your raising kids, great job. You made it. You survived. Your kids are adults now. Isaiah says sticky labels. Here's the biggest improvement. Isaiah, what are you talking about?
So we were talking in the group last week about how I need to stop taping labels to boxes, like the shipping labels of the box.
The shipping labels, okay.
Yeah, and Tech was like, go buy the sticky labels for like $0.25 or something like that each. Yeah. And I bought them, and man, the shipping process was like insane.
That's true.
Like taping them probably takes like, I don't know, 30 seconds or so for each one, because I put all 4 pieces on there. The sticky label takes like 3. It was insane. Like it's not even close.
Yeah. I agree with that. Also, your printer, like if you use a laser printer like Tech uses, prints really fast. If you in the Dymo printer prints really slow compared to like a Rollo printer. A Rollo printer prints like twice as fast as the Dymo, but a laser printer is also lightning fast. So print time starts to all these little things add up. But sticky labels, and when I started, I taped the label on. So I used 4 pieces of tape for every single label. That took forever.
I was doing that until yesterday. Yesterday, I had to send out 58 packages, and the taping, it wasn't gonna get it. My label came in through Amazon, and I was ready. I started slapping them on there. Unfortunately, we put them in the printer backwards. So like the first, like I had to reprint them like 3 times because the first 20 were messed up because they were in there backwards. So when you pull the sticky part off, the part that you're supposed to like throw away was the only part that was on there. So that was a little difficult to deal with, but we fixed it. We're rolling now.
Lee is asking if anybody uses their credit card to pay for shipping. I do. You can hook it up to your PayPal account and have a 0 balance and then connect your credit card as the default way to pay. I spend $600 a day on shipping. So I get either $9 or $12 depending on what credit card it's using per day on shipping rewards. So it's interesting. If I can triple my business, I could live on my credit card rewards. That's really interesting because those are tax free.
Chris, can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
So my downstairs neighbor like has a chair outside of their house, and I need a chair for my listing station because I typically just have a table. I pull it towards my bed and I sit on my bed, but it makes my lower back hurt a lot because you don't have anything in your back to support it. Do you think I should go down there and be like, hey, can I get this chair from you? And then drag it upstairs and put it in here?
You should just buy Tech's chair because it's like 6. I think it's let me look it up.
It's a cool chair. It's like one of those rolling chairs that's it's like a big black rolling chair with a softer back.
Why would you not get your own chair?
Because they have a chair downstairs right now.
Thrifting mentality. Go for it, Isaiah.
I agree. You might as well just try it.
Why would you waste the time of going down there every day?
Wait, is it a free chair?
No,
Like
no. They have the chair sitting outside their door.
They don't use it?
Did I lose signal?
No, you're still here.
No, we're all just in stunned silence. That you didn't use sticky labels.
Oh, you just want to, if they're not using it and you want to ask them if you can have it. If somebody asked me if they could have the chairs I have in my patio that I never use, I would say no. So, I mean, I never use them. Never use them.
Offer them $15-20 for it. Maybe
Sorry,
they sit with their shoes on.
I couldn't hear you guys. Yeah, they just have the chair sitting outside their door. Like I think they're about to get ready to get rid of it. I saw it last night as I was taking my packages out.
Yeah. Just
leave a note on it that says, if you're getting rid of this chair, text this number, I'll come get it.
So it is a good idea. So you guys are totally for it, like going to scoop up the chair.
Why wouldn't you? It's a free chair, maybe.
Yeah, I think so too. It's been sitting outside literally for 8 hours.
As long as it doesn't clutter up your life.
Or they have bed bugs.
bed bugs are a trip. I thought I had bed bugs.
That's honestly what I was worrying about. And the thing about my apartment complex is if you bring bed bugs, you have to pay to fix it. Like, so, it's a risk, guys. If you get bed bugs, it's an issue.
They'd have to prove it too. That's tough to prove.
Carpet beetles. I see carpet beetles occasionally. But not bed bugs, luckily. Huh, interesting. Yeah, Sneaker Goods Miami says, bruh, just buy a damn chair. I mean, the chair that Tech uses he made millions of dollars in, and it costs $50, and it's awesome, and it's at IKEA, and he has 3 of them. So it's nice to think that he found a table in the trash, bought a $50 chair, and that's all you need. Also, one more thought, Isaiah. Somebody gave me the recommendation that more important than your chair is your posture. So I read some articles on how to sit better, and that helped a lot.
It's really hard for me to sit up straight without anything on my back at all. Like,
Yeah,
it's possible, don't get me wrong.
For everyone.
Yeah, it's like, because like my bed like sinks in. You know what I mean?
Dude, your bed is not a chair.
Exactly. That's my
Come on,
point.
bro.
A chair.
Come on, dude.
Yeah, of course. So that's the goal. That's the next step in my business, to get a chair. And then after that, I need a mouse.
You'll be happy as you get older that you
That's
bought
right.
chairs.
Also,
I had a guitar player once.
Go ahead.
I had a professional guitar player once tell me his wife got on him and said, "You're in the studio all the time. Spend $500 on a decent chair." And he said it was the best thing he ever bought. So, good chairs, very important.
Oh yeah. You should spend more money on your chair and your bed than anything else in your life. Actually, I think you spend more time on your chair and your bed than anything else. All of them combined.
I think yesterday I sat down after work for 10 minutes and I just couldn't get back up. I couldn't get motivated to do anything else. If I had a chair and sat down, that'd be me done for the day.
I know. It's another thing that I want to mention to help me with my back soreness is being hydrated. So I think that can help a lot. Wow. Yeah. I'm okay with this too. If you guys want to start a GoFundMe for Isaiah's chair, I'll probably give some.
Guys, I'm totally gonna buy a chair. I got it. I'm gonna get a chair without a doubt. Like, my grandmother has like several chairs at her house. I just need to go over there and get them. That's all. Like, I'm getting a chair. It's gonna happen. I don't need to no GoFundMes. We're good. No worries.
Lumbar support for a car. I wonder if this is safe. I guess if you have your seatbelt on, somebody linked lumbar support for your car. I think that would be okay as long as your seatbelt still worked properly. Yeah, there's a guy here that invented the seatbelt, or I don't know if he's still alive. Let me see. I'm trying to look. Yeah, there's a guy here that invented the seatbelt, and he gets like $50 million a year in royalties. And he it just reminded me of that. Sorry, it's insane. I just imagine you invent something that's in every single car. That's just mind blowing to me that exists. JC Media House is asking, what sort of quantity do I sell to the UK? I would say maybe 5% of my sales are international through the global shipping program. I used to ship direct because it's faster and cheaper for the final customer, but it's more complicated. And if you have a couple of returns, it really eats into your profit of getting more sales. So I'm currently just using global shipping program. And also another thing that takes more time is the eBay authentication process. I've now done it twice. It takes the customers around 12 days to get their shoes after they buy it. So I don't know if it's worth it to sell it a different way to them so they don't get the guaranteed authenticity, because that takes a long time. It's like more than 2 weeks for them to get their shoes. I wonder if StockX is faster than that. GSP is fast. It's in his town. That's awesome. I know the guy that invented the seatbelt. He got a royalty for he does get a royalty from every person that he saves, because he gets a royalty for every single seatbelt.
When I buy shoes from Nike, it takes like 2 weeks for them to get here. So.
Oh, from them. Yeah.
Yeah. Nike takes forever to send your shoes.
Yeah, that's one of the reasons why I think they don't use Amazon. Let's see. Oh, and that's another reason why I like not having inventory at home, because of bugs. There's bugs in used stuff. Ed, thought?
Yeah, at the beginning of the call, you talked about recording your process,
Yeah,
and you said it would be deadly boring.
yeah.
Just an idea for you. What's deadly boring for you might be really helpful for someone else.
Oh yeah, I'm down to film it for the people in the group to watch, but I don't want to 8 hours of the identical thing on YouTube.
Oh, not YouTube at all, but I think for
Yeah.
the people in the group, yeah, I think you might be really more inspiring than you think, as dull as you think it is.
Let me see. I'm gonna put. There's people in the chat asking about text share. I will link it. It's $50, and there you go. That's $1 million seller equipment. You don't need a Erman Miller like mine that doesn't you barely sit in. So just get a chair that you actually sit in.
I'll give you $50 for your air on.
I know, right? That's true. I guess I could have the camera on in my no, but the thing is, it eats up data. So otherwise, I think I could just, if I had a warehouse, that would be best. The Facebook group is the 24/7 group is for the Facebook members only. Let me see. Netro, you should email me that question because I don't know how many UK sellers are here. Reseller Eric pays off his card every single week to make sure he's never late. Yeah, that's. I think if you paid off your credit card every single week, you would have no. You would never be late. That's right. Let's see. Oh, I wonder. I currently do not use a charge card, but I've had a charge card before. Essentially what that is it's a credit card that you have to pay off in full every month with no limit. I wonder what the best points for charge cards. I don't know. I'll have to look into that. How do you get involved to get your store reviewed? If you join the Facebook group, we do 2 store reviews a day. The reason why I didn't do a store review today, though, is because it's on YouTube. So normally I just do the improvement call on Wednesdays, but we're doing store reviews every day. Saeed, sorry we didn't get to your review today because I was going to do it with Rob's. I don't know if Rob is here, but we'll wait for both of you guys. Okay. Well, everyone have an excellent day. I'm going to go sourcing now. We'll see you guys next week or tomorrow if you're in the Facebook.